Welcome to Break Mitsubishi. My name is Nathan, and today we're doing a walk around video on something pretty exciting. What we have here is Mitsubishi's 2020 Pajero Sport Exceed. So what we'll do is run through the condition of this particular car. I mean, with such low mileage, it's highly doubt that there'll be much damage to the car itself, but we'll run through the condition as well as all the features that come in the Pajero Sport Exceed model. Now, if you have been looking at Pajero Sports and Exceeds in particular, you know that this is a great value, so don't miss out while you have the chance. So starting off on that front end, you've got that new updated front end look for the Pajero Sports with that dynamic shield integrated into that front bar. If you're familiar with these, the older shape was slightly more narrower. This is a little bit chunky and a bit broader. It looks actually pretty neat. It is adapted from the Triton range as well. Now you've got your Mitsubishi badging in the middle there. Now if you do notice, it does have a glass coverage. That is actually a sensor behind there. So you've got a sensor in here for your forward collision mitigation system, and you've also got front parking sensors along the bottom there for, I guess, parking and helping the car maneuver, as well as a front camera. Now this car comes with a multi-surround camera, meaning a 360 camera system. So you do get a kind of like a bird's eye visual view of the car itself when you are reversing or parking into spots. Now the headlights are beautiful design. They do integrate again into the whole front end look. Projector globes fitted in there, and the daytime running lamps through the middle there, which do look quite stunning when you are driving, and indicator lamps and fog lamps fitted in the front bar at the bottom. Now if you come around to the side, taking a look at that first alloy, you do get that really nice multi-spoke alloy look. Now you can see how nicely that actually presents. The rim itself is in excellent condition. There's no damage whatsoever, and you've got lots of tread remaining on those tires. Now do excuse a little bit of dirt that has been picked up on the car, just over sitting here for a few days. But taking a look on the side, this car comes with the color match side mirrors and door handles. Now with these cars, when you actually lock the car itself, these side mirrors will fold in. When you unlock it, they will fold out. And you've also got that keyless entry point on the door itself if you did want to lock and unlock it using that button. Below the side mirrors, you do also get a camera system. Now that is again part of that 360 camera. So you've got one on the front bar, one under each side mirror, and also in the back of the car to help reversing. These side mirrors, if you come around this way, I'll show you, they do also have a blind spot warning system. We will touch on that when we actually go inside the car, but you do also get blind spot warning with this Pajero Sport Exceed. At the bottom, they do come factory fitted with a step. Obviously being such a high vehicle, it does help climbing in and out. Now the condition on the inside of the car, again, pretty good condition. The bolsters are in very good nick. They're still very firm, no damage or creasing. Slight creasing on this part of the bolster, which is pretty standard when you're getting in and out of any car anyway. But the seats itself look almost brand new. Passenger seat is also in good nick, apart from that side there where you do have to climb in and out. So a little bit of wear, but it is general wear and tear. You also get carpet mats fitted in the car as well. Now these cars come with electric seat controls, heating seats and everything. So all the adjustable controls are on the side here, and you've got that scuff plate on the inner door frame just to keep it nice and safe and protect the paint from getting damaged. Door card as well is in very good condition, no damage whatsoever. Now in terms of the features on the inside of this car, we'll touch on that when we go on the interior. If you have a look up here, you do also notice that the front window is a little bit more clear than the back. That is the back windows actually have a privacy glass, so that is just to prevent people from looking inside the car, but it doesn't actually provide any protection like tint does. So please speak to us about our tinting options, because you're going to want to protect not just your investment, make it look good, but also everyone that's going to be inside the car as well. Now taking a look in the back of the car, just so you can have an idea as what it looks like in the back row seats a bit clearly before we go inside the car. So they are a 60-40 split. That is a 60, this is a 40. This will fold up like so if you did need to utilize the whole boot space, and these back seats will also fold. They'll drop flat. However, they're leaning up at the moment, but it will fall flat if you pull all the seats up. Pick this up just so you can see. It is that easy to kind of flick it back up. Closing this up though, take a look at that second alloy. Again, pretty much unmarked, no damage whatsoever, just a little bit of water from the spray, but the rim itself is in very good condition. Okay, now taking a look at the back end of the Pajero Sport Exceed. Now, just pretty simple in the back. They have updated it from the previous model. If you do notice that they have cut off the bottom of the tail light here, and they've also removed the spoiler. Now you can get that spoiler fitted if you did want to fit it. I think it looks good with the spoiler, so it's probably worth getting it fitted for you. They do also get the rear wiper blades, high mounted brake light, and the washers on top. And you've also got a reverse camera mounted just under here, and your rear parking sensors, which are mounted on that bottom bar there, which are color matched to the car itself. Now, being the Exceed model, they do come with an automatic tailgate, so you do just have to press the button and the boot will open up. There is also a button inside the cabin, as every other car has as well, just to open it up. Now, just so you can see what the back seats look like, you can see if it folds flat, this is how it will look. So the back of the seat will drop down and the bottom will flip up. So that's the bottom of the seat there that flips up against that. Like I said before, if you actually fold these up, you can fold these flat, completely flat, and you can utilize the whole boot space if you did need to transport something. Otherwise, they'll sit like that. You probably lose a couple mil off the back, but nothing too major. Otherwise, they sit up like this, and you can drop them pretty easily. Pull the bottom first to flick up the top, and then drop that one down, and that's the amount of boot space that you get in the back of these. Got a small little storage compartment under here for little things. There is also a cap here that is to drop the spare wheel. Now the spare wheel is actually mounted under the car itself. They do get a 12-volt charger at the back and 2 cup holders for the passengers in the back of the seats, and you've also got air vents for the third row for the passengers that'll be at the very back. Now if you look on the boot here, you do get 2 buttons. Now the one on the left there will open and close the boot. That is also a memory button, so you can maintain a certain memory for how far you want this boot to open. Let's say you park in a fairly tight garage, you don't want it to open all the way, you can set that. And next to that is a close boot button with the lock. Now if you press that, that'll actually close the boot and lock all the doors. So if you've got a handful of groceries, you can just tap that button and it will drop. Now with this as well, you do get a sensor. So when this is closing, if it does bump on something, it will open back up. So at least the little ones are going to be safe when they're playing around in the back here. You do also get sensors all along the actual edge of the boot as well, in case your fingers get in there, but I'm not going to demonstrate that for you just in case. Coming across to the passenger side of the car, fuel filler cap is on the passenger side, so if you do have to pull over on the freeway, you know you're going to be away from any oncoming traffic in case you do need to fill up. Taking a look at that third rim, now that is also completely unmarked. Generally this is the side that gets the most damage, so we're quite extra particular about these ones, but these rims are again good condition and you've got lots of tread on the tires. Paintwork on this side of the car is pretty good. There's no damage whatsoever. Just whatever marks you might be seeing is just from the wipe down from the chamois, but the actual paintwork is in very good nick, and in the graphite color, I hope you can see the sparkle as well as I can, but that presents beautifully. And on that fourth and final rim, no damage whatsoever on that rim as well. So we've got 4 completely unmarked rims. We've got lots of tread remaining on all the tires. The paintwork around the car is in pretty good nick. There's no damage or marks that I can see if I'm trying to be really picky. It seems to be a scuff there. Possibly it'll come off with a polish, but that mark is there just at the time of this video. And now what we're going to do is actually pop the hood and take a look inside. All right, now taking a look inside the engine bay of the Pajero Sport. As you can see, pretty neat engine bay. You've got your turbo mounts there and your diesel, your DPF filter just over there, unlike most cars which are actually at the bottom of the car at the very back. This is quite easily accessible. It's just over here, quite easy to clean and fix up. So what we have here is a 4-cylinder 2.4 litre turbo diesel motor. Now, although this is the same motor in the Triton and pretty much the same car, the Pajero Sport actually comes fitted with an 8-speed automatic gearbox. So lots more gears to shift to, better for towing, and obviously a lot smoother drive. Now this car itself has a 5-star ANCAP rating with 7 airbags, so lots of safety for all 7 passengers in the car. This motor, just like the Triton, produces 133 kilowatts with 430 newton meters of torque, and it does come with a 68 litre capacity fuel tank. And as it does run on diesel, you do get a combined fuel consumption of 8 litres per 100 kilometers, or an average fuel distance of about 850 kilometers off a full tank, depending on how you drive and whether you're towing. All right, now taking a look inside the Pajero Sport Exceed. As you can see, it does look pretty similar to the other Pajero Sports in the sense that how it presents, but there are a few more extra creature features in this model. So starting off on the driver's side door, do get that really nice armrest here with the leather finish. Does also have a piano black plate above that. That is for your window controls. Now all your power windows are fully electric power windows, both up and down, all 4 windows, sorry, all the way around. And you've also got central locking above that and your window lock controls above that to stop the kids from playing around with it in the back seats. On the right hand side of the dash, you've got a few little options here. So your engine stop start button is on the right here. Like all stop start cars, you put your foot on the brake and press it to turn the car on. On the right hand side of that are your window lock, your power mirror controls. So that is going to open, there's a button there to open and close these. As I mentioned before, these will close when you actually lock the car itself, and you've got your power window controls below that, power mirror controls, sorry, below that. On the, you got one blank button, sorry, stability control, parking sensor button, and your forward collision mitigation. So parking sensors, you can turn them on and off, and your forward collision mitigation is your braking system in the car, which again, we're happy to elaborate on what that is when you do actually come in. Below the dash, you've got your fuel release cap and your hood release on the bottom of the A-pillar, and on the right hand stock on the column is your left and right indicator, fog lamp controls, and headlight controls. Now the headlights are an automatic dusk sensing system, so you just leave it in auto and the lights will turn on automatically just like they do when you drive into a parking lot. And on the left hand side are your wipers and washers, both front and rear, and again they are automatic rain sensing systems, so just leave it in auto and the car's going to do everything for you. Behind the steering wheel you do notice that they do come with the paddle shifts. Now the paddle shifts are mounted to the column. Benefit of that is when you actually turn the steering wheel you don't get confused as to which one's your positive and your negative, but they always stay on the same side. So you've got negative, go down gears on the left and go up gears on the right. Now that is for your sports shift system. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but coming over to the steering wheel itself, on the right hand side are your cruise control settings. So up here is your cruise control, and you can set it with the trigger here, and below that is your adaptive cruise control button and a speed limiter button. Now next to that there's a little button that looks like a little teacup. That is actually for your camera. So if I press that button there, if I get the camera person to pan over just to the entertainment system, you can see that 360 camera system in the car. It is a little bit blurry just because it had a bit of water on it, both the front and the back, but the camera system I can confirm is very good in this car, and it pulls up the front camera. Now if I press that again, that is going to pull up the left side of the camera over there. So when you are parking next to a curb, you can just tap that button and you can see how you align with the curb. Otherwise, just go back to the screen. Below that are your call, reject and voice control, and on the left hand side are your media controls. So volume and seek for, these buttons are for your entertainment, and above that you've got enter and a reverse button. Now that is actually for the display in your dash. Now if I press that enter button, you can see the lots of different displays there. Now as you can see, being the Exceed model, this comes with a full digital dash. So as the whole thing, including the temperature gauges, fuel gauges and everything are digital. We've got in a slightly unique setup for your actual RPM and speedometer. So if I rev this, you can see it actually tilts. It rotates like this. You can actually adjust it differently if you want to just your standard setting. That is going to switch over to that standard look, which has your speedometer in the middle and your RPMs on the right. And you can also flick through lots of different information here. Now, this car, you've got your tailgate rest reminder, which is, it'll alert you to rest when you're going on long drives especially, and remote. Now that is actually for your app. Now being the Pajero Sport Exceed, it actually has an app that will connect to the car itself. That'll let you open up the boot, close the boot, warm up the car, things like that. So lots of different driver options and features with the Exceed itself. But again, it's best to play around with it and get a bit more information, but we're happy to elaborate on these when you do actually come in. Below that is seek options and music for the entertainment system, so sourced for the different modes in your entertainment. So coming over to the entertainment system, you can see you got AM, FM radio, iPod Connect, Bluetooth connectivity, USB, and digital radio with your HDMI inputs if you wanted to connect anything else to this. Go back to home. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto systems, which will also adapt to this. Now, in addition to that, being the Exceed model, it comes with an inbuilt navigation system, which you don't get in the GLX or the GLS, but only the Exceed. So very clear option there. If you don't like that and you prefer the look of your CarPlay, or you've got your CarPlay connected, you can just run it through Google Maps if you wanted to. However, pretty neat entertainment system, and it is also a slightly bigger updated head unit as well. Below that is your seatbelt indicator, hazard symbols, nice and easy to see, and your boot release as well. As I mentioned before, pressing that button is going to open and close the boot, so you don't have to get out on a rainy day like today to pick up the kids. Below that, a nice display for your climate control, so driver and passenger have their own settings, all your fan speeds and modes below that with your front and rear demisters. The Exceed model comes with your heating seat controls, so you got high heat and low heat, so both a heat setting, HDMI input, 2 USB inputs for charging or your CarPlay setup, and your rear diff lock button to turn that on or off, and a 12-volt input for any extra charging that you might be doing, not a cigarette lighter. Bit of storage underneath that compartment there, and coming over to the gear shifter, it's a very smooth gear shifter, like I said, 8-speed automatic gearbox. Now if I bring that into reverse, like I said, you can see the 360 camera and the rear camera in there when you put it into reverse. Pressing this button on its own will bring up the front camera. Putting your gear shifter into reverse will bring up the rear camera. Now if I bring it down to drive and flick it to the left, that is your sports shift system. So you can either use the actual gear shifter itself, or you can use the paddles on the top here like I demonstrated before. Putting it back into park, behind that is your downhill descent control and your terrain settings. Now that is available when you're in your four-wheel drive settings, and electric park brake and auto hold. and this is your four-wheel drive selector. So being the super select system too, you can flick into any of your four-wheel drive high settings going up to 100 kilometers per hour, and you can do it on the fly. So you can just flick over like so. For your low setting, you probably want to be in neutral or pulled over. Got two cup holders and a nice leather stitch center console armrest. If I lift that up, you've got a storage shelf there and a bit of storage below that, and compartment to keep your wallet or keys or any loose change in. Now I'll get the camera person to actually pan around the interior to show you the condition, because this car, like I said, presents pretty immaculately. The inside's also in very good nick. There's no damage to the seats. The leather's in good intact. There's no stitching or anything that's coming out, no stains or marks or sticky bits or damage really. The back seats are also in good condition. Roof lining is very clean. No damage whatsoever on the roof lining. I'm trying to pick out what I can. Nope, nothing there. Now if you do notice on the back here as well, you do get your rear AC controls. So they're just up there near the light. You can turn them on and off and turn up or down this fan speed. And in the front here, there is a sunglass holder for your sunnies. Pretty standard on the interior, but you do get a lot of comfortable features in this model. What we're going to do now is jump outside and wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching the walk around video on this 2020 Pajero Sport Exceed. And I hope this video gave you a good representation as to the condition of this particular car, but also some of the features and benefits that do come in the Pajero Sport Exceed model. Now, if you did have any additional questions, wanted to test drive this car, or actually wanted to purchase it before you came in, you can do that. Now, the number to dial is 99070555. Just before I go though, this car does qualify for our Platinum 1 program. Now, what that will offer you is 5 years extended protection, like-for-like new car warranty, up to 200,000 kilometers, and it does also come with the added benefit of 10 years Platinum Roadside Assistance nationwide. So great value for money, especially if you plan on traveling, towing a caravan, whatever it might be. There is great value in this, so please speak to us about this option. In addition to that, I do highly recommend you take advantage of the glass coat and tinting packaging deals that we have going on at the moment. So that is going to give you a lifetime warranty on this beautiful graphite paintwork, and we can package that in with some tint for you. Being the darkest legal, it's going to have a lot of benefits and a lot of protection for the family as well inside the car. Now, if you did have any additional questions, wanted to test drive it, the number to dial is 99070555. Just before that though, make sure you go on Google, search up Berwick Mitsubishi, check out our Google reviews. With over 1,100 reviews and sitting at 4.8 stars, gives you the assurance that you're dealing with the right people and the right kind of business. Now that number again is 99070555. My name is Nathan, and thank you so much for watching.